Once upon a time, someone who was a part of the community is now the biggest hater of said community. Foodie Beauty used to be a part of the LGBTQ community, or at least that is what we were under the impression of, as she said it herself, and now she is all religious for her man, who is not her man but is her man, and the whole situation right now is confusing. Anyway, she turned Muslim when they started talking, and eventually turned against LGBTQ people. Before I get into this video, I do want to make it very clear that I do not agree with anything she says. I'm a part of the community myself, and I think it's very important that I kind of get this out here just because of how absurd it is, and especially with the state of the world where we are in today, that we hold people accountable for the things they've said in the past. And with that being said, I'm going to have the LGBTQ helpline in the description box. But let's get into it. To start the video, we are going to look at her recent statements that she made about the community.
In addition to all of these insults that she has just cast my way, she's going to say this. Isn't he...
to living off of talking about Amber Lynn all day. How? Actually, isn't Jordy gay?
Actually, you know what? I had a trump card sitting here all along. I don't have to make fun of his hair. I don't have to make fun of his glasses. I don't have to make fun of what he's got going on down under there. Isn't he gay? Oh my god, I should have just led with that.
This has never and will never, ever make sense to me. Ever. Why does someone's preference matter to you at all? You know what I mean? I think something that's really interesting with all this is that when you have nothing else, you go for that. And I think it's just more about you as a character. I mean, you had nothing against Jordy as a reaction channel or as anything else, and in the moment, all you could think of was, wait, he likes men? So what if he does? So what if anybody likes the same gender as them? It makes no difference to the character and the heart that they have. And it is so tiring because it happens so frequently to this day, you know, especially as someone who's still in high school, like, hearing just the crazy things that people come out of their mouth, and, like, it's such a scary world for the youth to grow up in. And it's like, when you have people with such big platforms coming out here and just being so, like, I mean, she meant that as an insult, 110%. When you have people with big platforms coming out here and using their platform in such a negative way, it only continues to spew the hate. And then, you know, people wonder, well, I don't know, you know, why are people so scared to come out? It's because of things like this. You know, people grow up with the internet nowadays. This is all we see. And, like, it's so infuriating. Obviously, there's been more that she has said and whatnot on stream, especially with Salah, but I'm going to keep it to these two before I get into the other clips. But she posted this on Instagram. She put the question, Foodie Beauty, do you still support LGBT? Her answer, it's complicated. The short answer is no, but I strongly disagree with hating people based on their orientation. I support individuals as people who are kind regardless of their sexual preference, but as a new Muslim, I cannot make something halal that is forbidden. There is nothing wrong with not believing in same-sex relationships. This coming from a Muslim convert, formerly agnostic or almost atheist, therefore I have done and still do my fair share of sinning, including having had some same-sex relations out of curiosity in my past. Now, however, as I attempt to grow as a person and learn Islam further, I love the idea that we can disagree with others' beliefs and not condemn them for having them. This is between them and their relationship with God. We live to serve Him and not ourselves. We must obey as this is what is good for us. God made us who we are, and each one of us is special. Therefore, to alter our natural state of being haram, and I fully understand this, but as good Muslims, we must also practice kindness to all, no matter their orientation. This concept of kindness is something that I struggle with as I have anger issues, but it is something I know I will get right someday. I will never give up, and the closer I allow myself Allah to enter my heart, the more I want to do right. I was lost for all my life. I am still finding myself. It's a journey. It's a gift from God. And I don't even want to try to pronounce that word in fear of being disrespectful. I have a lot to say about this topic. One, there's nothing wrong with your religion. I am not here to shame you based on your religion. I am personally a Catholic. And being a Catholic, I grew up in the church my whole life. I went through CCD. For those of you who don't know, it's once a week you go to like a Catholic school and you learn there for an hour, 2 hours after your regular school day. And you get confirmed through the church like that. It's a whole process. It's 8 years of it. And growing up, you know, when you're a part of the church and have very religious people surrounding you, you were told that it is wrong. You know, it's something that they preach pretty consistently, if I may. And especially nowadays with all the Christian influencers on social media, you see it a lot. But that being said, it is not an excuse and it is not a reason. I want to say there is something wrong with disagreeing with it, because if you you trying to spew hatred on it, like, you just literally, you don't have to be gay. Like, being gay is not a choice. No one is going out there and being like, everyone needs to like the same gender. No one's saying that. Just literally don't marry the same gender if you don't like it. You know what I mean? And also, growing up in the church and having that hateful rhetoric surrounding you your whole life, it makes it extremely hard to accept yourself, and it is something that I am working on to this day. Like, I spent years of my life trying to convince myself, like, no, I'm not like this. You know, I'm straight, when I wasn't. And I just hid myself for years, and it was a miserable thing. Religion does not give you an excuse to hate on other people, and then to hide behind religion saying, oh, well, you know, I'm still kind, like, love thy neighbor, but you're not loving thy neighbor. And you're right. God did make everybody uniquely and in a wonderful way, and he made people how they are meant to be. Being gay is not a choice. It never has been, and it never will be. He made us this way. I also just want to touch on something else. The Bible verse that a lot of people quote for being against gay people is a Bible quote in which they say, man shall not lie with boy. That verse, if you actually read the entire thing, is talking about pedophilia. Completely different. If it was talking about same-sex relationships, it'd say man shall not lie with man, but it says man shall not lie with boy. So you can interpret it however you want, but you're wrong. I'm sorry. I also want to apologize if I'm not extremely well-spoken on this topic. It gets me very heated, and I am trying my best to be as kind on it as possible. And I also have a very hard time not stumbling over my words. I am trying my best, I promise. But let's get into some other things she has said that are pro-LGBTQ plus community. Well, isn't this interesting? Not only is she at Pride, but she's showcasing a sign that says Jesus said love one another. Yeah, he did, with no exceptions to it. Like, oh my god. There is no exceptions. And for people to say, oh, well, God made you in a way, and to go against his word is crazy, but if God made you that way, you're not going against his word at all. You know what I mean?
Gays, you know I love gays.
Do you? Because I really don't think you do. And also, I love gays. I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it now because I'm heated, but the way she said that kind of sounded insulting. I'm going to warn you before we get into this next clip, it is extremely vulgar. That's what Chantal and Amberlynn do best. Love being vulgar when talking about sexual interests. So, this is your warning.
I love pussy. Smelly and everything, I don't care. I don't mind a little sweat. I don't mind. I don't care. I don't like a vagina to taste like soap. I want it to taste like vagina. I want it to taste like friggin' vagina. I want it to smell like vagina. I like the smell of vagina. I like vagina. I like being bisexual. I love sex. I like human beings.
Okay, one, speak your truth, I guess. And what I'm going to say, I'm going to try to phrase it as kindly as I can. But something that did catch my attention in rewatching this clip is her saying, I like sex. So did you actually like women, or did you just like using them, if that makes sense? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel that there's so much more. Like, I feel like if you just kind of label the community as, oh, like, you'll just have sex with anyone type of thing, when in reality, like, when you're gay, you're genuinely attracted to them, not just for their body. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but maybe that's just me.
So guys, I'm bisexual. I'm coming out today. I'm gonna have a coming out party and drink a bunch of beer. We need to get a cake.
Okay.
Let's get a coming out cake.
God, Pete's was so unbothered. Okay. Okay, so this is when she officially came out. Cake, wanted to drink a shit ton of beer for it. Have yourself a party, man. I have nothing against that. Like, however you want to celebrate being you is completely up to you.
It's not that I want to be a lesbian. I want to take a woman out. You know? I want to treat a woman right. I am LGBT. I am LGBT. Because I'm bi. And right now my bi side is more gay. I want to take a woman out for dinner.
Right now, my bi side is more gay. Also, what does she mean? In the beginning of the clip, she said, sometimes I want to be a lesbian. I want to take a woman out. You can do that as a bisexual. That means you like men and women. Like, you can take a woman out. You don't have to be fully lesbian to do that. Like, what are you talking about right now? Oh my god, this entire topic is crazy. This entire era was crazy and remains crazy. I'm probably going to do a little bit more foodie content on the channel, but honestly, I'm not up to date with Chantal nearly as much as I am with Amber. I definitely want to try to branch out, do some other creators like Nova and whatnot, but, you know, whatever interests me in the moment is what I do. Closing remarks is that it is okay to be gay. It's okay to be gay and Christian. I'm living it right now, and it is a tough battle, but I love you, and you're always welcome here. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye!